Is another Monday, another beautiful, well, it's not really beautiful outside, but it is Monday. It's Monday morning, 7 o'clock here at the America First Media Campus. We are broadcasting live from the America First Media Campus right here in Ronkonkoma, New York, and I'm happy to be here with you this morning. I got a nice warm cup of coffee, okay, when you think about it. My prop is over there, but I only have one hand. And I got so much to talk about. The Montauk event is up. And a lot to, there you go. There you go. A lot to go over today. Obviously, tomorrow is going to be the Smithtown Library trustee race out there. And we want to make sure that the town of Smithtown makes the right decision. Obviously, one of the people who is running, we talked about that on Saturday night. I put out a small video about what not to do. And obviously that person and everybody with regards to that person cannot be trusted. And what that person has done to Patio Pizza, we just don't want to see that happen to the rest of Smithtown and be in charge of a $16 million budget and bring in all sorts of programs that could potentially bring anti-police and anti-American rhetoric into the schools and into the library. I don't think that's needed. So more on that tonight. We'll be back live tonight at 9 o'clock. Here on all of our platforms. So 9 o'clock tonight, we'll be live again. Good morning to everybody in the chat. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's good to see you guys this morning popping in. And obviously, an interesting day. Hopefully, none of you guys are stranded trying to get home because Southwest Airlines has called a SICKOUT. Ain't that better? That's good. Build back better, they said. It's going to be great. Don't worry about it. Going to build back. Come on, man. Build back better, you lion, dog face, pony soldier. Going to build back better. Going to build back better. Oh, come on. A chocolate chip with ice cream. Come on, man. So Montauk is Sunday, and I know a lot of people are excited. We got a good response putting the event up last night. Ladies and gentlemen, the flyers are out. The event is out. What I'm going to ask you to do is something that Project Veritas always asks everybody to do. It's called distribution by proxy. Okay, distribution by proxy, meaning you see it, you save it, you share it, and you post it. That's what you got to do because we're not being helped out by social media. Obviously, that's something that the social media is not going to help us out with. They're definitely not our friends. So we want to make sure that if you see the Montauk flyer, which is on Twitter, which is on Facebook, which is on our Loud Majority Twitter, it's on the Loud Majority Facebook, it's on Instagram, it's on all of our stories. Save it, screenshot it, and share it. Share it. Tell your friends all over the place. We're doing well. We had a good initial response last night after posting the official event last night. But you get up and get on Seaford train station is going to be Sunday. We'll be meeting at 8, leaving by 10, and heading all the way out to Montauk again. And it should be a really fun day. The weather looks like, hopefully, we're going to keep the fingers crossed. The weather looks like it's going to be good. And so Montauk is going to happen again this weekend. We're also planning things for Halloween and Thanksgiving. And we are taking requests for which local charity we want to help out with a food drive or something of the sort, maybe a food drive and a coat drive, of course, for Thanksgiving, for the holiday season. Obviously, we did a lot of work last year during the holidays, and we want to do it again. So we want to go ahead and have that. Anybody has any suggestions about where we could go or what we could potentially do during the holiday season for a charity, whether it's a toy drive or a coat drive or a food drive or something like that, feel free to let us know. Message us, liloudmajority@gmail.com. We're always looking for suggestions. The only problem, some of the organizations don't want to work with a political group or a group with political affiliations or associations. So sometimes we can't use those groups, but we will definitely be looking for suggestions. And as far as the weekend went, we had a good weekend. It was a nice day at the March for Life on Saturday. I want to thank Pastor Joni and Pastor Jim for giving me the opportunity to come down there and speak. Really appreciate it. And it was a good time. A nice community out there. Had some good conversations over there. Got a lot of information from a few folks that wanted to get me some info on some stories and some goings on. So that happened. Some information about our lovely governor, which I'm not going to talk about yet. Maybe Wednesday we'll break the Kathy Hochul story. I do have to do some more digging on that case, but certainly some good information on Kathy Hochul, Kathy Cuomo in a dress Hochul. Kathy Cuomo in a dress Hochul. And it is sad, as someone says here, it is sad that somebody will refuse assistance or charity over politics, but sometimes it's written into their contracts where they're just not allowed to do business with, anybody who's affiliated politically. And so if that's in their contract, I'm not going to hold it against them. Another thing that I want to dispel is something that's been floating around this weekend. Obviously, over the weekend, somebody was posting it on the comments that you needed a vaccine to renew your driver's license. That is fake news. That is not true. And I want to caution everybody here, because we're all guilty of this. I've been guilty of this. And I know, people have sent me things thinking things are true and they're not. And just listen very closely when I say this to you. Be very, very careful where you get your information from. Okay? Because if you can't find any documented proof or a link or anything about where that information is coming from, chances are it's not real. And so that goes on. You see articles and screenshots of articles go up and they look good, and it's not real. All right. So be very, very careful where you get your information from. But as far as I know, and the research that I've done and everything that I've seen, I know it said it came from WROC. It wasn't on their website. Be very, very careful what and where you get your information from. Some people cannot be trusted. And obviously, some folks just do it to get attention and get a rise out of people. That whole vaccination for driver's license thing is not true. So thankfully, it's not true. And I haven't found anything about it to suggest that you would need a vaccine to renew your driver's license. Again, I saw that getting posted in a lot of places. It isn't real. As far as I know, it isn't real. So screenshots aren't always everything. And usually, unless I could find a link or something to confirm it, I'll go out there and say, listen, it's not real. So with all that being said, good morning to everybody out there. I'm very happy that you're joining this morning here on the stream. And we're going to get to some cool stuff. I've got some stories, some stuff about Joe Biden, some stuff about Southwest Airlines. As you know, they're blaming the weather. I don't think it's the weather, folks. I don't think it's the weather that's causing Southwest Airlines some trouble. I really don't think it's a couple of showers and thunderstorms, but they can never tell you the real story. Why can't these people ever tell you the real story? Because the real story doesn't fit their personal gain. Of course not. Of course not. What do you got? The world-ending storm? Every flight for Southwest Airlines is canceled because of what? Because of sunny weather in Florida? Yeah, if it was up for me, listen, I love Florida, okay? But, it's hot, humidity, all that stuff. But is that really what they want you to believe? So here it is from Kyle Becker, beckernews.com. Southwest Airlines is having a complete meltdown as hundreds of flights are delayed or canceled in a mass SICKOUT. Southwest Airlines has become the latest major U.S. airline to mandate employees receive the COVID-19 vaccination or lose their jobs. The airline is immediately suffering the consequences due to a reported mass SICKOUT that is causing severe delays and hundreds of flight cancellations. The Dallas-based company said its workers must be fully vaccinated by December 8th in order to remain at the airline. Employees can seek approval to skip the shots due to medical or religious reasons, KDVR reported. The major airline carrier is now suffering severe operational disruption due to widespread reports. Southwest Airlines is suffering an operational meltdown this weekend as hundreds upon hundreds of flights have been delayed or canceled outright, the Points Guy reported. The airline is blaming weather and air traffic control issues from Friday for the domino effect of cancellations. Thousands of passengers have been stranded at airports, been forced to wait in long lines, or spent hours on hold trying to rebook their flights. Flight tracking company FlightAware is reporting 27% of Sunday's flights have already been canceled as of around 8 a.m., the report added. The airline had said that things might improve today. That was yesterday, Sunday. But so far, it has actually gotten a bit worse. According to FlightAware, Saturday saw some 800 cancellations. Sunday morning is worse, with more than 1,000 flights canceled. NewsNation Now's Leland Vittert is reporting that there is a mass SICKOUT affecting Southwest service. Airline sources are saying that a mass SICKOUT at FAA News Center in Jacksonville caused the ripple effect and 1,000 flight cancellations, mostly affecting Southwest Airlines. They're reporting a SICKOUT protesting the vaccine mandate. Southwest Airlines, however, is providing cover for the operational disruption by claiming there were air traffic control issues and disruptive weather. ATC, this is a tweet from Southwest Airlines, ATC issues and disruptive weather have resulted in a high volume of cancellations throughout the weekend while we work to recover our operation. We appreciate your patience as we accommodate affected customers, and customer service wait times are longer than usual. So they're saying Florida was among the places that were the hardest hit. Tampa International Airport. Emily Nips told the Tampa Bay Times the FAA imposed an air traffic management program on Friday night that grounded many Southwest planes, and that led to a domino effect. 11 out of 15 scheduled flights to Tampa Saturday night were canceled. 11 out of 15. So we had 11 canceled. They said there were hundreds canceled. So maybe 11 of them were for air traffic control issues. But folks, this is it. We've been talking about this for a while. This is it. This is it. Okay? We've been waiting to see it happen. Hospital workers were laid off. They're out of the hospitals. Teachers laid off. They quit their jobs. And we saw air traffic controllers. Some of them did it. We saw some of the other airlines with the mandatory vaccines. But now we're actually seeing it cause a problem. Now we are actually seeing it cause a problem. You know, Bill Maher, who we've talked about before on the stream here, Bill Maher has even said, how the hell are we going to build back? And he's a liberal, and he's openly a liberal, but he's a free speech guy, and he's honest. But even Bill Maher said, how are we going to build back better if we have no builders and nothing to build with? Right? How are we going to build back better if we have no building supplies, right? There's a shortage on everything. Lumber costs are through the roof. Building supply costs are through the roof. And nobody working. So a labor shortage, nothing to build with. But we're going to build back better. Interesting. And so there's somebody from YouTube here, Trisha Mahoney, here in the chat, made a great point. Were any other airlines affected by this weather? I'm going to pop that on the screen. Were any other airlines affected by this weather? Good point. No, I guess the weather just affects Southwest Airlines. I guess it's only raining if you're unvaccinated. Guess that's how it works. If it's raining and you're unvaccinated, you're guaranteed to get wet, folks. The vaccine will keep you dry. You heard that? If it's cold and you're unvaccinated, you're going to be freezing, you know. But if you're vaccinated, you'll be warm. You don't even have to wear a coat. You know, it's like this vaccine gives you superpowers. If you were vaccinated, the planes would fly. The weather would be fine. Yeah, there's weather, and it only affected one airline. That's a good point. It's a really good point. There's weather, bad weather everywhere, and it only affected one airline. See, this is the funny thing, and you poke holes, but you know what? Trisha Mahoney, you know, I hate to say it, but I think that's a little racist of you. I'm only kidding. But, you know, that's what they'll say. You know, oh, you're poking holes in my argument? That's racist. You know how they get. But it's true. It's true. It's only raining if you're unvaccinated. The weather's only bad for Southwest Airlines. It's true. Okay. What do you think about this type of thing? It's a disaster. It's a complete and utter disaster when you look at it, okay? And when you think about it, it's something that we're not very proud of. They're talking about build back better. I'm sorry. Yes, and somebody else had just asked about the, once again, I don't understand how this stuff spreads, although I really do. But someone else just asked about the driver's license. It's fake news. That driver's license vaccine requirement is not real. It's not real. And yes, vaccine mandates are wrong. It's an overreach of government, and it's a disaster. that we're dealing with, and it's hitting every single aspect of life. In football, Urban Meyer, the coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars, is actually under investigation by the NFL Players Association, the Players Union, for making decisions about the roster and factoring in vaccination status. Now, I don't know the whole story. I just heard this yesterday. And Urban Meyer's in a little bit more trouble because of the stuff he was doing at a bar recently with a college student. But and nothing illegal, but just not moral, not ethical. But Urban Meyer is under investigation in the NFL, and we'll get back to Southwest Airlines in a second, but I want to point out something that we can anticipate going forward because I like to do that. Let's talk about what we could see them do. I like to be one step ahead of these people and see where they're going to go with things, right? So Urban Meyer's under investigation by the NFL Players Union, the Players Association in the NFL, and and Urban Meyer apparently is being accused of making roster decisions based on vaccination status, right? Well, why is that a problem? When it's okay to do it everywhere else, right? It's okay if you're a hospital worker for your superiors, your bosses, to make decisions based on vaccination status. Why is it not okay to do that in the NFL? Now, I cannot wait to find out whether or not Urban Meyer was making these decisions and saying, hey, if you're vaxxed, you're not on the roster. Because I want to see if it's on the flip side. Hey, if you're vaccinated, you can't play. You're not playing football on my team. I wonder if they're going to have a problem with that, but not the other way around. I bet you they will. Because that is how they operate. Rules are for thee, not for me. And that is something that is common everywhere. It's not just among the left, okay? It's common everywhere. But I'm wondering how that's going to go on. I'm wondering how that's going to play out. Back to Board of Education meetings, of course. FBI, and looking into this these idiotic claims that these parents that are violent at board meetings are domestic terrorists. Oh, again, we never will endorse or encourage violence at a school board meeting. We never have, and we never will, including at our rallies. So we always say, how many times we say it at the rallies? Don't be violent. If you see counter protesters, don't be violent. Don't do anything. Don't walk up on them. Don't yell at them. Leave them alone. They're only looking for attention. Counter protesters are only looking for attention. People who yell and scream like that are only looking for attention. Don't give it to them. Don't give it to them. That's what they want. Right? So we don't give these people the attention. The FBI now looking into school board meetings as if that's the biggest problem that we have in this country. Remember, the greatest threat to our country is white supremacy. Can you show me the white supremacy? The widespread white supremacy? No, you can't. You can't. A question here in the chat said, I heard Cuomo in address wants to mandate vaccination for all of New York State. I mean, if she wants to, I bet you that's true if she wants to, but I don't know if she can. But the driver's license thing is not true. The driver's license thing is not true. So we're back looking at Southwest Airlines. Right? And again, when it comes to disinformation like the driver's license myth, you have to, when you see these things, all you got to do, you go to DuckDuckGo, or freedomsearch.com, or even Google. Okay? And punch it in the search engine and try and find it for yourselves. You can't find it. I just looked before, again, to see if something else dropped. There's nothing on this driver's license thing, which leads me to other sorts of disinformation. Stuff regarding vaccines. I'm not saying that people aren't having reactions to the vaccine. I'm just saying if this was a widespread problem, everybody would be dropping dead. Okay? I'm not defending a vaccine. I'm not telling you to get it. I'm just telling you that if you really thought this thing was widespread killing people, why are all the people that I know that are vaccinated not dead yet? Well, they're not dead yet. Well, none of us are. None of us are dead yet, right? And that kind of how life works. Now, with that being said, you make your own decisions on your own medicines. That's fine. You want to get vaccinated, you have the right. If you believe it's necessary to get vaccinated because it mitigates risk, you have that right. And if you don't want to get vaccinated, you have that same right. This is not Animal Farm. This is not George Orwell. This is not some people are more equal than others. We are living in an era now where it's like Jim COVID, I call it. Jim COVID. It's separate but equal. Vaxxed, unvaxxed. Well, one group can eat inside, one group can eat outside. It sounds eerily similar to the Jim Crow era. We're getting there. We're getting there. I'm getting you an update on Southwest Airlines now. USA Today's got it. 1,000 flight cancellations on Sunday. CNN, just recently, 2,000 weekend flights were disrupted. Yeah, let's see what the left-wing CNN has out there. I won't put this link in the show notes, but I like to see what the left says every morning. The long weekend got a bit longer for Southwest customers after the airline canceled more than 2,000 flights Friday through Sunday. The world's largest low-cost carrier canceled 3 of every 10 departures it had scheduled on Sunday, and the disruption continued into Monday, a federal holiday, with 337 flights. Today is, by the way, Columbus Day. It's not Indigenous Peoples Day. I mean, you could call it whatever day you want to call it, but today is Columbus Day. So to all the Italian Americans out there, yes, Christopher, remember Andrew Cuomo? Christopher Columbus, we are not going to tear down the statue of Christopher Columbus. We're not going to tear down. To my interns in the room, you can now remove your clothes, or I'm going to fire you. Andrew Cuomo, right? You can now take off your clothes. Interns, we're going to play strip poker, but first we will celebrate the legacy of Christopher Columbus. Happy Columbus Day. Okay, they call it Indigenous Peoples Day. And you know who's not celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day? We call her Pocahontas, okay? She's not celebrating Indigenous Peoples Day because she's not an Indigenous person. She's a fake Native American when you think about it. Pocahontas. It's true. And everybody knows it. Having some fun this morning, right? I'm having a happy Monday. Got a good cup of coffee, Kofifi right here. It's good. I'm going to drink it again. Okay, so we're back on CNN's website. I love reading from CNN because sometimes they make our points for us. The company blamed the cancellations on air traffic control problems and limited staffing. Limited staffing. What would cause limited staffing? I wonder. Maybe it's the vaccine mandate, the fact that people have had enough and they're getting up and saying, I don't think so. Good for them. And this is what organized labor looks like. This is what organized labor looks like. Unions aren't necessarily a bad thing. It's just when that power falls into the wrong hands, they're a bad thing. This is what it looks like. When the people stand up and collectively say, we have had enough. When the people stand up and collectively say, we will not comply. When the people stand up and do that, this is what you see. You see this, and unfortunately, it affects people who may not feel one way or the other on the issue. There are people who have probably wanted to take that flight, couldn't care less about Donald Trump or Joe Biden or vaccines or COVID or anything. They just probably wanted to get home. There are people and businesses who are probably inconvenienced by what happened here. You saw it. Lots of customers affected by these shutdowns with Southwest Airlines, and it's upsetting for them. I get it. It's upsetting for them. I understand. And I don't want to see people inconvenienced like that. But it is not these staffers' fault. They don't want to take a drug that they're being told they have to take. And look, this is what it looks like. So those customers are now going to choose another airline. They have to. They have no choice. Some of them have to get home. They'll choose another airline. And Southwest will see a very big dent into their profits taken over the course of the weekend. And that is how you hit these people. That is how you hit them. You got to hit them in the wallet. You got to hit them where it hurts. And Southwest now, because they're not going to be able to service these customers, they're going to have to either offer refunds or vouchers. They're going to take, I don't know how big of a hit. But they're going to take a hit. And that's a good thing. And this is what organized labor looks like, folks. This is what it looks like. And this is a good thing. And so when you have these problems, you stand together with one another. My heart goes out to the healthcare workers. My heart goes out to the teachers in New York City. And you guys are doing a great job rallying in the streets. chanting FJB and de Blasio. You're doing a great job. I wish I could join you. I'm still working, unfortunately. Well, fortunately for me, I do like to work, but I'm still working. Unfortunately, I can't join you at 11 o'clock on a Monday or something. I'd love to. I can't be there. Not yet. I still have a job. Hasn't mandated the vaccine. Very happy about that. I like to be working. I like to be busy. It's a good thing. But for those of you who aren't, and for those of you who are out there rallying in the streets, chanting, I'm with you. And this Saturday, I'm going to put something out about this later, but this Saturday, we will be in the city. I will be in the city. There's going to be stuff all over the place this weekend. Sunday, as you know, is our Run to Montauk, Seaford to Montauk. Sunday, as you know. But Saturday, we're going to be in several different places. I'm going to need a group of people, if you guys can come and help, over in District 19, Vicky Palladino, we love her, Whitestone, out there, 2015 Francis Lewis Boulevard. We're going to meet up. We're going to do some campaigning for Vicky Palladino. I'd love to get a group of people out there. If you're maybe from Nassau County and you want to meet us out there, because Suffolk's going to have some stuff going on this weekend. It is time to hit the streets, ladies and gentlemen, not to protest, but to campaign. It is time to hit the streets with some energy, with some passion, because if you want to retake your state and you want to retake your country, this is how to do it. Tonight, we'll be live again. We're talking about all these things coming up tonight at 9 o'clock. And we'll be talking about the Smithtown Library trustee race, where we would love to see our three candidates win. Lopresti, Grisafi, and Gurgenti. We would love to see those three candidates win. We would love to see the $16 million budget in the Smithtown Library fall into good hands, trustworthy hands, than the hands of somebody who has harassed small business owners across Smithtown for the last year and a half. We would love to see that. There's no reason for a hateful person to be in charge of a $16 million library budget, or to be one of the people in charge of a $16 million library budget. Responsible spending is good. Irresponsible spending is how you destroy countries. But when you look at Southwest Airlines and you look at how labor, like I said, organized labor is not a bad thing. You know, Southwest Airlines, we've continued diligent work throughout the weekend to reset our operation with a focus on getting aircraft and crew repositioned to take care of our customers, the airline sent in a statement. FAA said there have been no air traffic-related cancellations since Friday. So the FAA is saying there's been no air traffic-related cancellations since Friday. And Southwest Airlines is saying that there's air traffic control-related cancellations. So don't you see that kind of? This is kind of like how the left deals with critical race theory. Don't you see that there's a dissonance there? There's a dissonance there. Southwest Airlines is citing air traffic control-related issues, and the FAA is saying what issues? So either they're not talking to each other, they're not looking at the same data, or somebody's lying. And I think somebody's lying. And I think it's Southwest that's lying. They're trying to cover, right? Southwest Airlines is trying to make it look like, no, it can't be our vaccine mandate. It's air traffic control. Look shiny over here. No. The timing is too sweet for this. The timing is too sweet for this. It's not air traffic control. The FAA is saying there's no air traffic related cancellation since Friday. Makes you think what's really going on. Remember, critical race theory. Here's more dissonance. There's 3 myths about critical race theory. Number 1, it's only in colleges. Number 2, it's in every school. It's everywhere. It doesn't have to only be in colleges. It's being taught in elementary schools, junior high, high school. So myth number 1, it's only in colleges. We know that's not true. Myth number 2, it's in K through 12. And it should be there. It's great. You know, we have to teach it. Oh, it's great. Oh, critical race theory. We have to teach everybody, every child, to hate each other. That's myth number 2. Number 3, it doesn't exist. So it either exists in college, exists everywhere, or it doesn't exist. But they want the 1, 2, or 3. And there are people who are, you know, will take a stand against us and take a stand against people who don't want to, how do I want to phrase this? We don't want to see diversity, equity, and inclusion, that curriculum, which we read from on Friday. Go back and listen to that. Oh, I forgot to change the titles. I'll change that later. Diversity, equity, and inclusion. We don't want to see that implemented in the schools because of how divisive and hateful it could be. They tell you, no, don't worry about it. It's not real. And then in the same breath, they'll come out and say, it's only in colleges. Wait a minute. I thought it wasn't a thing that could exist at all. You told me it doesn't exist. Now you're telling me it exists somewhere else. So it is real, right? So there's a lot of dissonance going on. And that's how you know the left is having an issue, because they're very hive-minded. They're always able to speak one voice, one mic, right? All the time. They don't do diversity of thought. So when they start offering several different explanations for the same problem, you know that they're off guard and that they didn't have time to coordinate a message. And when the left does not have time to coordinate a message, there is no message. There is no message. And that's how you know you got them on the ropes. And that's how you know we're winning. That's how you know we're winning. Okay? That's how you know we are getting up ahead of these things. Build back better, though. Build back better. We're building back better, right? Is everybody happy with how it's been? It's almost been a year since the quote-unquote election. Is everybody happy with Build Back Better? How we doing? How we doing, folks, on Build Back Better? Yeah. Not well. Well, let's talk about Jen Psaki, because Jen Psaki is always fun. Peppermint Patty. She's got some good nicknames. Let me go to the chat. Hey, chat. What's going on, chat? I would like to see in the comments over here, and I get all the comments. I've got YouTube's comments. I don't have Twitter's comments, unfortunately, because Restream doesn't jive with Twitter anymore. But I know I am streaming, but I can't see Twitter's comments, unfortunately. So Twitter, I love you to death, but I can't see your comments in my chat, unfortunately. But YouTube and Facebook, can you guys please tell me what your favorite nickname for Jen Psaki is? Jen Psaki, the inept, incompetent press secretary for Sleepy Joe Biden. What is your favorite nickname for Jen Psaki? Cocky Psaki, Raggedy Ann, Little Red Riding Hood, Pippi Longstocking. Ain't no circle back, girl. Ain't no circle back, girl. Come on, give me your best nicknames. Chucky, Liar. Oh, that's a not nice one. The red-haired moron. Keep going. I like, we got Peppermint Patty. Ain't no circle back, girl. There's Joe the Box. Says circle back, girl. Soulless. Psaki. The dumb redhead. Ugly. Well, anyway, Jen Psaki, because this is her job. Let's be honest. Her job is to lie for Joe Biden. That's what the press secretary does. They generally lie for whoever the president is, regardless of party. If there's an issue, the press secretary goes in front of the media and kind of makes the issue not as bad. But Jen Psaki has been doing this since day one, because there's nothing that this administration does well except register Republicans, right? And I apologize. It's not an administration. It is a regime. You are right. On Friday, the White House press secretary, Jen Psaki, Peppermint Patty, Raggedy Ann, Pippi Longstocking, ain't no circle back, girl. On Friday, White House press secretary Jen Psaki tried to downplay recent negative news headlines. And that's a shocker in and of itself, that there's actually negative news headlines about this regime, because the media just loves to cover, 10% for the big guy. We don't want to talk about it. We're going to rig the election, Facebook and Twitter, by censoring the Hunter Biden laptop story by calling it Russian disinformation when it was his laptop. And by the way, by doing that, Russia is doing a hell of a lot better. So when we talk about who's doing better and Russia being the beneficiary of a certain side of American politics and their policies, it's not the right. The right does not make Russia a better place. You can see it now. Everyone's buying oil from Russia. Sorry. Russia. What do you think about it? Russia. It's a terrible thing. They said I like Putin. I've never even seen him. I've met him a few times. He's a weird person, a very weird guy. But we had a good relationship with Putin. And we had a good relationship with the little rocket man. And now he's launching his bottle rockets again off of the North Korean peninsula. Because nobody's afraid of Sleepy Joe. What do you think about it? Sorry. On Friday, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki, Peppermint Patty, Pippi Longstocking, ain't no circle back girl, tried to downplay recent negative news headlines and repeated struggles that the Biden administration is having, telling a CNN reporter, and this is the best part, that she got into it with a CNN reporter. You know when this is happening, that there's real problems. Did not see things as darkly. So the CNN reporter asked, quote, and then just going kind of big picture here, today we saw another jobs report that fell well below expectations. The smallest jobs gains in nearly a year. CNN's Jeremy Diamond said, quote, gas prices are at a 7-year high. Inflation is up. The president is struggling to get the rest of his Build Back Better agenda passed through Congress. How do you assess where things stand right now with regards to his presidency? And do you see a need at this point to course correct, perhaps? And even that question presented was so nice. Remember when they used to ask Trump these questions? Yo, dude, your economy sucks. And you suck. And you're orange. And we don't like you. And you're a racist. That was the media when they were like a bunch of animals. Now, at least he's being well behaved. But hey, they're challenging the regime. They're challenging the regime. So Psaki's response, Peppermint Patty, Pippi Longstocking, certainly don't see things as darkly as you do. We don't see things as darkly as you do. Yeah, CNN see things. CNN. Psaki claimed, look, the president's focus is on leading through a challenging time. And that's been his focus from the first day he took office. If you look at the data month over month, as I noted a few minutes ago, he has also created 5 million jobs under his presidency. That's because of obviously the economic recovery, everything reopening. We have created an average of 500,000 jobs a month. We are at a faster rate of economic growth, a lower rate of unemployment than in quite some time. That's progress. That's moving exactly in the right direction. Time out. Does anybody think with the state of the Middle East, with the state of the southern border, with the state of inflation, the state of the U.S. economy, building supplies, labor shortages, trucker short, does anybody besides Peppermint Patty, Jen Psaki, the circle back girl, ain't no circle back girl, does anybody think that we're moving in the right direction? I'm asking this, and I know I'm asking my chat's an echo. I get it. My chat is on one side of the thing. I got you. But let me see, chat, folks. Does anybody here think, anybody, that we're moving in the right direction? You tell me. Go ahead. I want to see. Anybody here think that? Anybody? I didn't think so. As the chat floods with no all over the place. No way. No way. We're going backwards. Yeah, maybe we're headed in the right direction if this is the direction you wanted to lead us in, the intentional destruction of the United States. And as it relates to the president's agenda, we are continuing to press forward with members of Congress who have a broad range of views about the path forward. But we're making progress. The president remains confident we're going to get it done. And this is what governing looks like. Hey, guys, folks, this is what governing looks like. Did you know that? This is what Jefferson had in mind. Didn't you know? Silly me. Didn't you know this is what Jefferson had in mind? Isn't that great? This is what governing looks like, she says. This is not what governing This is not what governing looks like. It's what a dictatorship looks like. There's no way anybody could be this incompetent. And yet here we are. It's an intentional incompetence. It's intentional destruction of the United States of America, and that's what we're witnessing. President Donald Trump had a rally in Iowa, as you know. President Donald Trump has hosted a rally in Iowa, and I know a lot of people were excited because he teased again that he's going to run in 2024. If you don't think he's running in 24, you're silly, right? He's going to run in 2024, and quite frankly, to quote him, okay, he's the guy for the job. We need to put him in. He's got to get in there. He's got to win again in 2024. And for anybody who thinks he's coming back earlier than that, I think you could chalk that up to the same rumors and misinformation and whatnot that you saw. You could chalk that up to the exact same thing that you saw leading up to this driver's license myth with New York State. It's not true. I really do not see Donald Trump running for Congress, getting elected as the Speaker of the House, going through impeachment, and then that's just not real. I'm sorry. I don't mean to burst your bubble. I'm not here to make you feel good. Sometimes I'm here to tell you what I think is true, and I don't think that's true. All right, I always want to be honest on the stream, but we do need him. And it was a great rally in Iowa, and we had a good watch party over at the America First warehouse. I unfortunately was not there. I couldn't get there. I was editing and putting something together and working on some of the studio equipment here, but we got it rolling. And these new cameras we got are fantastic, and this new switcher that I have is really fantastic as well. But at the Save America rally in Des Moines, Iowa, former President Trump took aim at the Biden administration's foreign and domestic failures and the left's expensive spending package and woke U.S. military leadership. Trump pledged that Republicans will reclaim America and shut down the Biden administration's border disaster. We are not going to have a country left in 3 years. We will hold China accountable for unleashing the virus, rein in big tech monopolies, and restore the right to free speech. Very important. He promised that the GOP will ban critical race theory in the U.S. military, in the workplace, and the education system. We will restore patriotic education to our schools. We will teach our children to always respect our great American flag. This nation does not belong to them, meaning the left. This nation belongs to you, meaning the people. And it's true. Trump lambasted the Pentagon's botched Afghanistan withdrawal when the Biden administration withdrew troops from the Taliban-controlled territory, leaving Americans behind and 13 U.S. service members killed in the Kabul pullout's wake. We're like a country run by stupid people, Trump said. Our soldiers are heartbroken at what happened in Afghanistan. They wanted to be respected. They wanted to show strength, and our television generals wouldn't let them. China laughs in our face, and they're right. He's right. China is laughing in our face. Joe Biden stands at 37% favorability and 61% unfavorability in the same Iowa survey conducted September 12th to 15th. The Democrat president's worst marks ever in 7 Des Moines Register polls dating back to 2012. Biden's approval rating dipped to 31% in Iowa, according to the mid-September survey. So Sleepy Joe Biden's approval rating certainly not getting to a place or hovering in a place that would be healthy for reelection or, quite frankly, anything with regards to approval of the country. It's certainly not something that you would want if you're the president of the United States when you're thinking about running for a second term. Also, there's some more news about critical race theory that's coming out, and I have to pull up an article. This culturally responsive CRS is what the program is called. There seems to be quite a tie between CRS and DEI, so I'm going to look more into that because I know there's a lot of schools that are working with this culturally responsive and sustaining education or something like that. And obviously we know with Panorama Education, they hide their CRT agenda behind social emotional learning, which again sounds good, but the left loves to play this euphemism game. So social emotional learning is, it seems to be something that isn't very cool. And it seems to be something that could be quite harmful. But critical race theory again, and I posted this on the and I'll go and cite this now. I'm not going to be able to put it up on the screen, but I posted this on that one video with regards to the Smithtown races. This Elaine Gross, this idea of erasing racism, and this graphic, that looks like kind of like a dome, and it splits up everybody. Again, here's where the Long Island Library Resources Council, LALRC, which services the Smithtown Library, which services school districts and libraries across Long Island. How can we make our spaces more inclusive? This was October 9th, 2020, a year ago. They held a training that a lot of teachers attended. You are privileged and benefited if you are of the following categories. If you're a man or cisgendered, if you are a white person, if you are a higher class or income, you're benefited or privileged. If you are able-bodied, able-minded people, imagine that. You're able-bodied and able-minded. You're privileged if you're just able-bodied and able-minded. Heterosexual, if you're heterosexual, you are privileged, according to Elaine Gross and the Long Island Library Resources Council. And if you're Christian, you are benefited, you are privileged. That's what she's telling you. If you are oppressed, if you are a woman or a transgender person, so not just a woman of color, you could be a white woman and be oppressed. It says it, women. Okay? If you are a person of color, so now it's back to all people, not just the white people, but all people of color, not just the women and the men. If you're lower class and lower income, you are oppressed and targeted, according to Elaine Gross. People with physical and mental disabilities are oppressed by the system. They're oppressed. People who are gay, lesbian, and bisexual are oppressed by the system, according to Elaine Gross. Jews, Muslims, and other religious minorities are oppressed. You know, I'll tell you who oppresses the Jews, and that is the left. Did you remember seeing these Jewish folks, these Orthodox Jews out in New York City, getting arrested and assaulted by police officers for worshiping because they didn't want to wear a mask? Because they couldn't gather? Remember that? And those weren't Republicans doing that to the Jews. I'm sorry, is Ilhan Omar, who's like blatantly anti-Semitic, is Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez all out crazy, as Curtis Sliwa calls her, who's blatantly anti-Semitic? Is she a Republican? Is she a conservative, a constitutionalist? Is she one of those people? How about Rashida Tlaib or Ayanna Pressley? Are these people Republicans? No. And they're blatantly anti-Semitic, blatantly anti-Semitic, blatantly, openly anti-Israel, anti-Semitic, I don't want to say pro-terrorism. That's getting a little crazy, but some of them are very, very close to being pro-Hamas, pro-Taliban. Interesting. How could you come to the defense of the Taliban when it is the Taliban who abuses women, who objectifies women, when it is the Taliban who takes gay people and throws them off of rooftops and stones them in the street? How can you then tell me that you're trying to advance the cause and advance prosperity in the LGBTQ plus A, B, C, D, E, F, G community? How could you tell me? In one breath, you're going to defend. No, we can trust. Remember, because it's like socialism, right? No, we're going to do socialism the right way. There is no right way. Point to me point to me when it's been done and it's worked, right? And tell me that it's going to be good. You can't. You can't do it. No, the Taliban's different now. You don't understand. Oh, yeah, okay, fine. I don't understand. I've seen what the Taliban has done over years, since 9/11/01 up until now, 20 years. What we learned about the Taliban. Oh, no. Don't worry about it. They're different now. Yeah, you're right. They are different now. Now they have Black Hawk helicopters because we gave them to them. So they fly those and they dangle their people that they killed from the helicopters. And they said, no, they didn't hang the guy from there. They just flew him hanging off of there, but he was already dead. So it's okay. All right. Okay. So I see the way the left is thinking, right? You can see the way the left is thinking. You can see who the left tries to justify. You know, the Taliban are the good guys now. Don't worry about the gays. Don't worry about the women. Let them be abused. Let them be absolutely, persecuted and assaulted and harassed and marginalized. Let that happen, because the Taliban, they're the good people now. You know, when it was Donald Trump who tried to decriminalize homosexuality on a global scale, they tell him he doesn't like the gays. He doesn't like the gays. He doesn't like the Richard Grenell, his ambassador to Germany, and then the acting director of national intelligence, gay, okay, openly gay. Well, you know, it doesn't count. It doesn't count because he was never confirmed by the Senate to his position. So he wasn't actually gay. I didn't know the Senate confirmed that you were gay. You know, because Trump said, no, I had the first gay cabinet member. Me. Oh, no. He wasn't confirmed by the Senate. So his gayness doesn't count. His orientation, it's not real. You know, Donald Trump could have saved a lot of people a lot of trouble because they're trying to push for this first woman president if one day he just decided to identify as a woman. Who's going to tell him he's wrong? That's bigoted if you do that. He should have just for one day, I have to say, okay, I feel a certain way today. I identify as a woman, okay? So I am now the first and greatest woman president of all time. That would have been funny. If you play their game, fiery but mostly peaceful protest. You know, these people on Twitter posting death to America. But you can't have this guy, he can't go on Twitter and write, make America great again, because it incites violence. Really. But the Taliban, the terrorists, the people who orchestrated planes to be flown into our buildings and took 3,000 lives in a day, those people aren't inciting violence. The ones who are chanting death to America, who killed 13 U.S. service members, they're not inciting violence. But this guy, it's the big orange boogeyman. He's the one who's inciting violence. It's him, isn't it? It's Donald J. Trump, isn't it? He's the one. Because why? Because he said peacefully and patriotically on February 30th, because he tweets, make America great again, because the truth is the most dangerous and the most threatening element that the left has to avoid. They cannot bear to have any truth come out. Listen to the experts. Only our experts. Listen, trust the science. Only our science, not your science. Diversity. Unless you're too diverse. Because we don't allow diversity of thought here on the left. This regime is absolutely, intentionally trying to destroy the United States of America. This regime is, timeout. I'm going to call a quick timeout. I think I see somebody in our chat here. Marie Gergenti, I believe, right here, is one of our candidates in Smithtown who's running. Marie, how are you? We want everyone to come out and vote for Marie Gergenti, Teresa Grisafi, and Marilyn Lepresti tomorrow for Smithtown Library trustee. Hi, Marie. How are you? We wish you the best of luck in that race, and we want to get out the vote for you because we want responsible people handling taxpayer money in Smithtown. Same with the schools. So please get out there and vote for Marie, Teresa, and Marilyn. But the left cannot handle truth. They have to reconstruct the narrative. The left is they're memory holding the definition of vaccines. They're memory holding everything. Death to America is allowed on Twitter. It's not allowed. I'm sorry, but Make America Great Again is not. You have to toe that you can't step outside the box or you get canceled. It's unbelievable. And yet here we are. So what do we do? What do we do? Well, what we have to do is find the people we know we can trust, right? We could find the people we know, not just who vote like us, but who think like us. Find the people that were in your position this time last year. You know, this time last year, we were a few days before Montauk. We had just finished up the Ronkonkoma Heavy Truckers Rally put forth and put on by Empire Tractor Parts, the great guys over there. We were getting ready to do what was going to be our everyone's favorite run, Montauk. And I had no idea how big that was going to get last year. I had no clue. No idea. And we were getting ready and things were heating up. And I know that there are a lot of people who came out for Montauk last year who were otherwise afraid to do so in the past. But they saw other people doing it. They saw Trump flags showing up on their neighbors' homes. They saw Trump flags showing up. What the hell are you flying that off your truck for? Oh, there's this big rally. You should come. Stop being afraid. If you've taken a step back because of fear, then they're winning. You have nothing to be afraid of. Loving this country is not something we should ever shy away from. If you know somebody who is afraid to display the American flag, not even a Trump flag, if you know somebody who is afraid to wear our colors, not loud majority, USA, convince them, talk to them, comfort them, empower them, and tell them it is okay to be loud and vocal about the fact that you love the United States of America. There is nothing, absolutely nothing. First of all, there's nothing wrong with displaying our logo too. But there is nothing wrong, zero, with flying the American flag. There is nothing wrong, zero, with flying a Don't Tread on Me flag. There is nothing wrong, zero, with flying a Trump flag. Don't listen to what other people tell you. All right, folks, we're hitting 8 o'clock, right on the nose. Love you guys. Thank you so much for joining in today. We will be live tonight at 9 p.m., okay? We'll be live tonight at 9 p.m. for one more live stream regarding the Smithtown Public Library trustee races, and we'll make it a little interactive. We're going to open it up. I'll turn that phone on. We could do some calls. I see, yes, another one, Heather, in the chat. Do not be afraid to fly a blue line flag either, or the red line flag, or anything pro-military. It's okay to love your police officers. We'll be live tonight, 9 p.m. Same deal. Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. We will be live tonight. And we will have some fun on our live stream tonight. And I will be opening up a phone line, and we'll have some people calling in, and we can even do some videos if you want to do. We'll make it nice and interactive as we warm up for Montauk. Ladies and gentlemen, the Montauk event is up on our Loud Majority Facebook page. The Montauk event is up. Please do what you can to share it. Share it like crazy. Distribution by proxy is something that Project Veritas made famous, so please go over there, share the event, drop it in all of your Patriot groups. Screenshot the flyer, download the flyer, post it everywhere, all over the place. Distribution by proxy is the way we win and the way we beat the algorithm. It's the way Project Veritas does it, and we could do the same thing too. Nobody is stronger than we the people. We will overcome any adversity, any rumors and fake news that the media likes to make up about us, and so forth. In the face of an overreaching and overzealous government, in the face of Kathy Cuomo in a dress hochul, in the face of Jen Peppermint Patty, Pippi Longstocking, ain't no circle back girl, and in the face of the intentional destruction of the United States of America, we say these four words over and over and over again. We scream them from every mountaintop until the people in power finally get it. And maybe they're starting to get it over at Southwest Airlines. We say these four words loud and clear. We will not comply. Barry's got it in the chat. We will not comply. Thank you guys so much. God bless you. We will see you tonight at 9 o'clock. And our next morning stream will be Wednesday morning from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. right here on We Will Not Comply. Thank you guys so much. Until next time, stop complying and stay loud.